We're back casting the next 9 of the Primarchs, and this time we'll find out who might be playing the titular Horus. I am James Jordan, aka The Bard, and today I am joined by Mr. Lloyd Baker.
Howdy.
Bader. And Mr. Joe Pointing, Chaos Lord Beard.
Part 2, baby.
Part 2. We are back with our casting the Primarchs. Sorry to be so cheeky and make you wait, but good things come to those who wait. So we're going to dive right into part 2. And it opens with a big one. It opens with a very big one.
In more ways than one, he's a big boy.
Always the one. If you haven't, of course, do check out the first part that came out last week where we cast the first 9 of the Primarchs. But now we're in the second half. And there's some big ones in this half. So we start with the Primarch of the World Eaters.
Can I go first, please?
You can go first.
Right, so Angron is the one that is the most monstrous, I suppose. Yeah. And as far as I'm aware, he's the first one to become full demon, right, Angron?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one to ascend.
So I was trying to think of someone that would really excel in delivering a performance through the medium of computer-generated imagery.
Yep.
Someone that has pioneered in the field for years and years and years and arguably changed cinema in some ways. Andy Serkis is my pick for Angron. He would crush it.
He would, yeah.
I like it.
He'd nail the voice, he'd nail the performance. But sort of before and after his ascension to demonhood, you can he's so good at delivering through his facial expressions. He can be so ferocious in so many roles. He's played a massive dragon, he's played a little golem, he's done it all. So Andy Serkis would be Angron for me.
I like it.
It's a great pick.
I like it a lot. I have Serkis in this list, but it's not for Angron.
No way!
But we'll come back to that. Over to you, Mr. Spider.
Okay, so Andy Serkis is indeed my bonus pick. However, I did go for the classic Batista.
Oh, yeah.
I also went for Batista.
Big Dave.
And that's not because, he's just playing the angry guy. Like, Batista's actually a great actor.
Great. Yeah.
And he can play all sort, I think he could play the softness with his brothers.
Yes.
Before he goes full out there. And obviously he has the look of Angron.
Yeah.
You know, he's just, he can be Angron.
He's a really, really talented actor.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
amazing.
He sort of broke the mold of what sort of like wrestlers going into acting can really be. Like obviously Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has become an absolute megastar, but he is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista has played so many different roles really successfully.
Yes.
And he can deliver when he's not got a lot of dialogue or when he does. And he's been great. I love him in Blade Runner. I love him in the recent Shyamalan film.
Exactly.
He's great.
And where he's he's a huge guy and he's just playing such a soft, sort of gentle character.
For me, that's key with Angron, because very much what he becomes is untethered rage, right? But to start with, there's a huge amount of empathy there. He's one of the more emotionally in touch Primarchs. It's just he got the nails. His circumstances made him who he is.
Exactly.
And I think that struggle, would be fascinating. I think Batista could do it. So that's why I also went for Big Dave.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
He'd smash it.
He would smash it, and everyone around him.
Yeah.
Yes.
We now have the 13th.
Very difficult.
The Ultramarines. Rabute Gillim.
I don't want to go first.
You don't want to go first?
I think it's a good pick, but I don't want to go first.
I can go.
You want to go first?
Okay. My boy, Fassbender.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
My boy, Fassbender.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I had Fassbender for a different one, but then he actually got dropped.
I have Fassbender for a different one, not dropped.
I've got him.
Nice. For Gilliman.
I don't even need to explain it.
No, I get
He'd
it.
be a perfect Gilliman.
It's a fantastic
He'd be
Gilliman.
perfect. He can play all of that. He looks great. Everything from his original, 300s to X-Men where he's playing Magneto. He's got the tactical brilliance and discipline.
Yeah.
He's got that sort of discipline about him. He could deliver the role. He's got authority. I just think he would be a perfect Gilliman.
Yeah, he's a fantastic Gilliman.
Yeah.
I like it.
He looks like Gilliman.
He does look like Gilliman.
That's it.
Speaking of looking like Gilliman, we've gone a slightly different direction. But the discipline, the statesmanship, the craft, the tactics. Gone Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Think about the James Bond vibe,
Yeah,
the very clean cut,
Yeah.
like respectful. He is a man of the Imperium.
Choice.
That it's kind of out there a little bit. I mean, I've seen lots of people suggest Cavill for Gillim, but and I think we said even in the first half, I can see that, but I don't think it's quite right.
No, it doesn't. For some reason, it doesn't quite fit.
I think
That's too much.
Yeah, but I do think there's an element of like Cavill does give off like he can do more emotional characters in a way, but Gilliman's quite like straight. He's he's a tactician. He's a leader.
Yeah.
And I think I really like Fassbender, who can be cool, calm, and collected. And
I like Craig as well. Is Craig too old now?
Probably. That is potentially. But then again, like.
But he could do it.
They're all 10,000 years old, I suppose. So. It's quite an age.
Fassbender's a great pick.
Fassbender's a great pick.
So I've gone down the same kind of route in terms of trying to get the character correct in terms of him being not so much a warrior, but a very good general, a tactician, a statesman, a politician, very clean-cut, straight-laced, Codex Astartes. Now, he's probably going to be a bit too old, but Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, nice.
He's brilliant.
That is a great choice.
You can imagine him getting the face right, being like bordering on snooty.
Yes.
But I think he'd deliver that kind of cold, calculated, get stuff done in the right way, kind of.
I really like Fiennes. He was going to be one of my Lion choices. But I panicked and went Christian Bale in the end, which I stand by, but I think that's a great choice. I think they're good Gillimans there. Let's cast all three of them.
Three good Gillimans.
one can do the morning shift, one can do the midday. We then move on from the Ultramarines to the Death Guard.
Yeah, tricky one this.
Mortarian.
He's not got tons written about him, necessarily.
He's an interesting one, Mortarian, because he's quite sickly to begin with.
Yeah.
And he has a very interesting, upbringing, shall we say.
He's a bit tragic, isn't he, Mortarian?
He's quite tragic.
Yeah.
And you also need someone to do both parts. I've lent more for the second part.
Right.
But do you have I feel you have a burning
You look
desire.
very happy with your
I've got the perfect pick.
Go on.
Yeah, but it might be controversial based on what you said before, but I think the minute you say it, you go, oh yeah, I would go for Mortarian as Mads Mikkelsen.
Nice. Yep. I like it.
I can see it.
I like it a lot.
I can see it.
He would be creepy as hell.
Yep.
And have all of the depth, and I feel like he could do that tortured side.
Yes.
Like imagine someone that maybe potentially is always kind of in pain, or always just processing something, but is really dangerous and has that almost sickly beauty. Because Mads Mikkelsen's got that. Yeah. We can have that, you know.
Yeah.
I just think he would be a fantastic Mortarian.
Nice.
My bonus pick would have been Andy Serkis.
Nice.
Oh,
Yep.
Obviously, because the thing is about Andy Serkis, he's so phenomenal, he could do everything.
Yeah.
But the reason I've not ultimately cast Andy Serkis as any Primarch is that he doesn't actually have the look. So, and I feel like the look is kind of important. Unless you are, it depends how the film's made. You're embellishing it with CGI, fine. But I think you kind of, because I don't like CGI that much. I kind of want to try and keep it as practical as you can and use any CGI as just like if absolutely necessary. So, the old boy man.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it.
So with Mortarian, I've tried to go with someone that would capture you'd have to have a good vocal performance as Mortarian.
Yeah.
Very gurgly.
Or maybe we've gone for the same thing.
Very crackly. You need someone that inherently looks pretty intense, borderline frightening. He's been cast in roles previously where I think he does play relatively monstrous characters, so I've gone for Mickey Rourke.
Oh, nice! Very nice.
Again, someone that you could play like being like in constant chronic pain, but doesn't necessarily give it away, but you can kind of tell. Someone would deliver a really good vocal performance because he's super gravelly.
Yeah.
And I think like he's got a very unique look to him, but I think in the eyes there'd almost be a bit of a sadness there you can see sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So I think he could do it quite well.
He's a great pick.
Now,
Great actor.
I know my choice would nail the second half of Mortarian. No, would absolutely nail it. But I know that this actor has said they want to try different things, because they always kind of get cast as monsters at the moment, and they want to try something else and do some heroic characters. I've gone for Bill Skarsgård.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he could do pre-full Mortarian, still with a little bit of that wheezing and like how he holds himself. But then when he go full Mortarian, his performance in Nosferatu with that constant exhale and the weird stuff he can do with his voice to give off like otherworldly illness and like half dead, and he's massive. He's super tall. And Mortarian, I think, is
all the Skarsgårds.
I think Mortarian
Stellan could do it as well.
They could all. But
Baron Harkonnen as Mortarian. I mean, it all works.
Isn't Mortarian one of the tallest of the Primarchs?
He's a big boy.
He's naturally tall, I think, isn't he? And I think that stature initially with the hood and the scythe and stuff, then growing into the demonic Mortarian.
It's that Nordic,
that
esque. Look, it works for it, I think.
Like just the gas mask and the constant breathing. I think that would be so sinister. And that's.
So I've gone a Mikkelsen, you've gone a Skarsgård, and you've gone Rourke, he's a great actor. Great choice. I think he's a bit too old now. That might not work.
I don't think it necessarily. I don't think it matters so much.
They might be able to just I suppose they're probably going to be having to use practical effects anyway, aren't they? Prosthetic stuff.
Hood and gas
because I think Rourke is a phenomenal actor.
Slight tangent. I think the practical effects would be very important for anyone playing Space Marine / Primarchs. I think it would look weird as CGI. So I think really good prosthetics, pipes, cables, rebreathers, all that kind of stuff.
And you're kind of going to cast them often in a big dome. When they're in the power armor, a lot of the face-to-face stuff is going to be encased. It's
very exciting.
It's very exciting.
We are back with our second limited merchandise drop just in time for the spring months. The birds are tweeting, the flowers are blooming, and the blood is flowing! Introducing the Tabletop Tactics Gore Pack, featuring limited edition merchandise drenched in blood. Limited edition Red Gem Dice, the color of blood. Limited edition Cyber Skull, painted in blood red. Zip Up Hoodie to wrench apart with Berserker Bloodlust, also printed in blood red. Our brand new die trays are also available to purchase, but don't come in blood red. But you can fill them with the blood of your enemies! The dice, the t-shirt, and the hoodie are available for 1 week only. We are also happy to announce a continuation of our new customer offer where you can get our monthly or yearly on-demand membership at a special introductory price. So you can gorge yourselves on our entire library of content, including our battle reports, codex reviews, painting tutorials, and much more. So let the blood flow, stack the skulls to the sky with our new exclusive merchandise, which will only be available from April 26th to May 3rd. So get yours now!
We then have the Thousand Suns.
Right, I'm slightly
slightly
concerned my pick is dead.
I've
got a funny feeling he's not with us anymore, so I'm gonna go last.
Okay.
Might be wrong, but I don't know.
All right, you go then.
This is potentially controversial. I'm going for Timothée Chalamet.
Oh!
Wow, that is controversial.
I know, right? Now, hear me out here.
Okay.
Right? I think what I find most interesting about Magnus is there's a certain arrogance of that he thinks he does know better than the Emperor. And I think in how Timothy does Paul Atreides in Dune, and sort of being told you're the Messiah and and like the power that Magnus wields. I think Timothy could do a really interesting we know what we're doing. Like we're better than. Do you know what I mean? The way Magnus falls and is so tempted and is like he's seeking out of that power and he's like I can do it. There's a arrogance there, I feel like, that I think Timothy could kind of nail.
Okay.
And I think it would be quite an interesting fall to see from him being... And also Magnus can project whatever he wants to be looked like, do you know what I mean? He is a psyker. I feel like it leans into a slightly smaller frame and focusing his power on being his sheer psychic aptitude.
Sure.
So that's why I've gone Chalamet.
Interesting.
Very controversial.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And my bonus choice was Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm sticking with Chalamet.
All right. Mine isn't dead.
Excellent.
I've just had a quick look. He's not dead.
Okay. Yeah, I love Charlemagne. I wouldn't cast him as Magnus, I don't think.
He's quite small for Magnus is the biggest boy.
He is the biggest boy.
He's a great big red
man. I mean,
man.
it's going to have to be some sort of effects there.
Yeah.
But I wanted someone which you could picture, someone that you feel like he is an incredibly powerful, sorcerer, and you've got to have that I don't know, that sort of that almost alien look and feel to both voice and the way that they come across, and with that an almost alien intelligence, another world. Like he knows things which should not be known. So that's really tricky. So I've gone for my initial pick as an British actor via Ghana called Peter Mensah. He played the Persian emissary in 300. He's done a whole bunch of things. He's got an incredible look, but he's also a really great actor, and his voice and the way that he talks, you feel like he could utter words and, all of a sudden I'm not in the real world anymore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He's got, he could be, I feel could be Magnus the Red.
Yeah, man.
Bonus, bless him, massive fan of him in life was James Earl Jones.
Oh, yeah.
With just that incredible voice. And again, like, look, that's just, he could do it as well. But for me, Peter Mensah would be a pick which could do it right now out of the gate.
Nice. I like it.
It's done.
I like it.
We've got three very different choices.
All right, then.
So I've picked someone very out of left field, but this is someone that for me has always had very powerful performances. They just seem big.
Yeah.
They're always quite big, from the voice to the way he holds himself. Because I've obviously with Magnus being so massive, it feels like he needs to fill the frame quite well. I imagine he would have a very bellowing kind of voice. And when you when you enhance him with all of the psychicness that goes with Magnus, I've picked Jeff Bridges.
Oh,
that's a great pick.
I like it.
He's just big.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he could do it.
And and the way that he projects just sort of gives that sort of like slightly cosmic, magical projection.
Great pick.
That's
I like it.
Could do
like he's old, but again, I think you can
you
get
can
away
get
with
away with
that,
it with him. Because you're going to have some sort of practical effect on him. Jeff Bridges is also absolutely phenomenal actor.
Yes.
And he can do incredible things with his voice. You just wouldn't expect. He did this absolutely terrible fantasy film. Oh my God, it was so bad. But he was so brilliant that I kept watching because I couldn't believe it. His performance was so incredible. It's just a shame that everything around he could not hold the film up on his lofty shoulders. But again, what he does is with his voice in it. I forget the name of the film. But yeah, he's a great pick. I'd like him as well. Yeah, I think Peter Mensah or him could do it.
Nice.
Nice.
Still backing my boy. I'm backing Chalamet, man. And he's projecting what he wants people to see. But maybe he himself
I love
isn't
Chalamet.
how
It just,
he puts it out. Maybe he's not as big. Maybe it's all a
I
trick.
almost considered Chalamet for Sanguinius.
I did that. It did cross my
be.
mind as well.
You know.
I feel like he could do something weird with Magnus. I feel it'd be very special to watch.
Right, listen to me. Are we doing the 16th Legion now, or is that at the end?
Come on now. We're talking about cinema.
Okay.
We obviously will end on Horus, because I think that's the most important. For now, though, we do move to the bearers of the word and Lorgar. Now, this is where I have put Andy Serkis.
Okay.
Because I feel like that I did have a bonus choice of Riz Ahmed. I know they're both very different, but I've thought about them for very similar reasons. I feel like they can both do the devotion and being like, oh my God, that devoted element, and then the being smacked down and how that then transforms their psyche. I feel they, particularly Serkis, could do such a good, like tattooing his face, kind of the full word bearers, that whole having all your beliefs ruptured, and then that performance and that sort of the mind loosening, I think you could watch Serkis do, and it'd be nice to see Serkis do something when he is just on camera as himself. And I think that would be, I'd love to see him do Lorgar. I think he could do a really good go of it. So that's my pick. That's my pick.
I mean, he's a fantastic choice. Do you want me to go next?
Go for it.
He was my bonus choice.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Because again, Serkis, he's so brilliant and diverse. Such a testament to him that he's a bonus pick for me in a couple of Primarchs. But again, just because I'm not sure he's got quite the look, and I don't want to rely too much on effects and prosthetics and all that. So I mean, he does have a great look as well. I mean, maybe he could work for Lorgar. If he's going to be, if you're going to just have it, because I keep thinking of him in the role from Black Panther, where he plays the South African mercenary. Oh my God,
he's great in that role.
He could be really menacing
so well. Oh my God, he could be terrifying. And he can, because he's such a brilliant actor, he can feel big and powerful. Like, you know, he's just phenomenal. So I'll still go for this other guy as my first pick, but I'd be really happy with either of them. Joaquin Phoenix.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, because you go from everything from original Gladiator to his Joker. He's obviously got incredible depth.
He can do it all.
He has got a beauty to him which is befitting of a Primarch, but it's sinister. And you know, I think he could do all of that charm, and you just go, no, that's just not good.
I almost have him for Fulgrim.
Oh no!
But I figured that he's almost like too sinister for Fulgrim, if that makes any sense. Fulgrim sort of borders on comedic. But no, he'd be great as Lorgar.
It's great.
That's it.
Great shout.
That's it. It's done.
So my
sold.
My Lorgar is someone that I can imagine with the baldy head. Someone that has very good range. Someone that I think could bring some extra gravitas into his character. Someone that you could imagine would lead a bunch of people through fanaticism. But it's also got a spitefulness to him. Christian Bale.
I have to admit, especially thinking about how he plays when he plays the guy in Thor Ragnarok or the one afterwards. When he's
that's sort of what I saw. That's why I saw him in that, or in The Machinist. Obviously, way too skinny for a Primarch, but like with the look of Lorgar, I think.
Because I think you effectively kind of go from devoted follower of the Emperor to cult leader, effectively, and that descent. But I think they're all great choices. I'd be happy with any of those. I think they could all nail a bit of Lorgar. Nice. We then move on to Vulcan.
Nice.
Vulcan.
Happy with this one.
Happy with this one? Proceed.
Christopher Judge.
Same!
Christopher Judge, what's he done?
Easy peasy. So he plays Teal'c in Stargate. But he plays God of War's voice. He's the voice of oh my God.
Kratos.
Thank you. He does loads of voice acting work.
He's great.
He's got the look. He's got the build of Lorgar of Vulcan. I can imagine him with like the glowy eyes and stuff. And his voice is so boom.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
He'd be able to deliver that like he's practically an ethereal, isn't he?
He's eternal.
Perpetual.
He's eternal.
I think he'd crush it in that role. I think he'd be really, really good.
I for all the same reasons, I think he can do the gravitas of when he's Vulcan. But also that thing of like he's on Teal'c's performance, he's friendly, he's part of a team, he knows his place in the Primarchs. The Salamanders are quite friendly and look after one another. I think he would do the love and the jovial nature of a more loving father figure to his legion. But also, if you cross him, he will come back from the dead and he will get you. Like, I feel that would be, that would be really, really cool.
Obviously, I love God of War, but he's voicing there. So I think, voice, look, absolutely. I've not seen enough of his work. In fact, because I've not seen Stargate. Was he in the original
He was in
film?
SG-1, not in the original. I think he might be in the original film.
I don't know. He's in the series.
Yeah, he's in a lot of SG-1.
I've not seen the series. I've obviously seen the original.
It's a long time since I've seen Stargate.
Okay. So he slipped my mind, but everything you said, I go, okay, cool. So I picked Jaimin Hunsu.
Oh, yep.
Gladiator.
Nice.
He's done, Blood Diamond. He's done so much He's also in the latest Zack Snyder offering.
Yes. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And he, again, like those films, like great idea, and you've got some phenomenal actors in there. It just, for me anyway, didn't quite work as a whole.
That's the Schneider effect.
Yeah, Schneider effect, I guess they call it. Yeah. And yet he did, like, one of his opening films is Dawn of the Dead, which is probably one of the best remakes of a zombie film ever made. It's absolutely phenomenal. So he does do some amazing work.
I quite like his Watchmen.
Watchmen was brilliant
really
as well. I don't get it. Like, I don't know what's happening. Anyway,
if I could pick anyone alive or dead to play Vulcan, it would be Michael Clarke. What's his name? Michael Clarke Duncan, who plays John Coffey in Green Mile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know.
He'd be
very
perfect.
tragic. Yeah. I had to double check that when I was going through this because that was a pick of mine. I was like, so sad. We then move on to the Raven Guard.
Oh, this was quite difficult.
This is tough. This one.
This was difficult until I nailed it. Of course. Guys, Adam Driver.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, God bless.
Nice.
Wrapped up like a dinner, mate.
Nice.
He would nail it.
Yeah, he was.
He's got the absolute look.
Yep.
I nearly went. I considered him for Conrad Kurz.
Yes.
But I just felt like maybe it's going to be too much, doing his whole sort of Sith Lord thing again. But Adam Driver would absolutely nail.
Yeah. I spent
he's a great actor as well.
He's a great actor.
Really
I
good.
spent a lot of time stuck on Korax until I had the same like, oh, there you go. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Yeah, sorted.
I haven't picked him.
Okay.
I've picked someone that I would like to play the role, not that I think would be great in the role necessarily. I don't think there's a tremendous amount written about him compared to the other Primarchs. So I wanted to think of someone that I think could work with the look of Korax, but would deliver a really interesting portrayal of him. So I've gone for Adrian Brody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He's quite. He delivers quite complex performances, and I think that he could just add something really interesting to Korax. So
I think it's a great pick, and that he's got, in my opinion, like the same vibes that Driver has.
Yeah.
They actually both sort of interchange quite well.
I like it.
Either could be cast, and I'd be like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'd be sold on either for sure. Yeah. Speaking of double castings or single castings. Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
Alfaris and Omegon.
Yeah.
Or is it just one? Who knows?
Yeah.
Never been clear. Do you want to start?
I'm happy to. So again, this is. I suppose you could argue that there is the least known about these.
Very
two,
convoluted.
technically. So I was trying to think of someone that can maybe, I don't know, deliver a couple of different performances at the same time, potentially, to portray the two of them. Someone that is kind of difficult to put your finger on, but I think would deliver a good performance. So I've picked James McAvoy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's a great choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great choice.
I was nearly on the McAvoy train, but this is where I have placed Michael Fassbender.
I can see it.
Because I feel he can do the evil version of the cool, calm and calculated. They're very much the ultimate spy. Yeah. He's a bit naughty. He's got a bit of a sinister plan up his sleeve.
I can't imagine him bald.
I mean, I know what you mean, but I'm just imagining how he plays the android in the Alien films.
Yeah.
And how he's so sinisterly cold and just calculating sort of in the shadows.
Interesting.
And weirdly kind of everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
A bonus choice I was thinking is potentially Thomas Hardy, because he has done twins before.
Oh, yeah. Tommy!
Oh, Tommy! But I don't think he's quite right for the role. Oh, Tommy! What about you, my good sir?
I've gone for Paul Bettany.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good choice.
Paul Bettany as Alfaris, just for me, is perfect. He's also a phenomenal actor. He's got the great range. Can do that. I think he could do that. I mean, he's done so many different roles where it sort of works for something like Alfarius. Paul Bettany.
Great choice.
Paul Bettany.
And I mean, from like a softness perspective, he was a consideration for old Golden Boy, just from the sort of the way he delivers his lines, almost quite angelic and soft.
Well, he's got that angelic feel.
He
did a film called where he plays
Legion, was it called?
Legion.
And he plays an angel, doesn't he?
He plays Michael. So, Paul Bettany, that's it.
Great choice.
Right, are we on to the big boy?
We are on to the big boy.
This is if you fail with this casting, you failed at life. That's it.
I have not.
The film's failed. The series has failed.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. This is so hard to cast.
Very wisely.
She's very hard to cast.
This was almost impossible to cast.
It was almost impossible.
It still might not even be right now.
I think I've got the perfect person to do it.
Well, so do I. I've got the perfect person.
I've got the perfect person.
I've got the perfect person.
I have got... Do you want me to go first, or who wants to go first?
Come on.
Do you want me to go first?
Come on.
Lamb to the slaughter.
Shame.
Now,
Shame.
I think age would play a part, and I think potentially this actor is a bit older now, but I think is potentially one of the best actors of our generation and age. Just in the last probably 40 years. I think he's got a good body of work, and he's done some incredible films, and he can do it all, and wherever you give him, he will just do it in a very his way, and he will do it method, and he'll go mad with it, and I think he could handle the descent into madness. He could also be very charismatic. He can be a very good leader, and I've gone Daniel Day-Lewis. I've just gone, if you want the hardest role, go for the best.
Look.
Is it a cop-out? Maybe, but...
I've picked the same.
Have you picked the same? Daniel Day-Lewis?
Okay, good. I'm glad, because then I have picked something different.
Oh, okay,
I will justify all of the reasons, because when I initially say it, you might go, what, really? And then I'll explain. I'll take you on a little journey. Now, Daniel Day-Lewis remains to be my favourite actor.
Yeah, he's incredible.
I was ashamed that I've not cast him as a single Primarch. But I didn't do it because, one, he is too old now.
That is the
trying to keep this within reason that they could pull it off. Daniel Day-Lewis also has a bit more of an angelic look. I don't think he actually looks like Horace, though.
No, I will concede that.
I don't think he looks like Horace. So that's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
But he could do Horace.
He could do anything, though. He could do anything.
If you think about like the beginnings of Horus to the ends of Horus, you've got so much to travel through. You've got the goods, you've got the ultimate evil, you've got the confliction, you've got the descent. I've picked him purely from his ability to do all of those things. Granted, like he hasn't necessarily got the look, but I suppose
I feel like he would also then become the look of Horace. I think he would own it.
He would,
and that would be obviously you think of Horace with the bald and the tube up the nose from the trailer, but I feel like thinking of like Gangs of New York style, the butcher and stuff. I feel obviously he's great, but I'm very intrigued to know what you've gone for.
So Daniel Day-Lewis is, if you cast him as Horace, I would not be disappointed. But I also believe, and this is the other reason, I don't believe he would say yes to the role.
I don't think he would either.
He is also now retired as an actor.
Yes.
Okay, so those are my reasons why I've not put him in this role.
Yep.
I've chosen Tom Hardy.
Oh, Tom Hardy. Okay. I like it.
I'm going to take you on a little journey.
Okay,
Tom Hardy. Little film called Star Trek Insurrection, or was it Nemesis? One of those. He plays a young Jean-Luc Picard.
Okay.
But he plays the bad. He plays the baddie, and he's very young. I mean, he looks like a boy. But he's got his head shaved. Now we all know that Hardy can do his shaved head from the Bane era and everything.
Bronson.
And Bronson. He's got a phenomenal look, and it's interesting, but it's hard.
Yeah.
He is obviously a really good-looking man, but at the same time, he looks like a hard man.
Yes.
And that is something that Horace absolutely, because he is the Warmaster.
Yeah.
He's also extremely dangerous. And when he gets down to the point where he does turn traitor, your boy Tom Hardy will deliver.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tom Hardy's got the emotional depth. He can absolutely do the downfall. And I think, whilst I don't like the Venom films, I think that's more to do with the direction and the way they've put it together rather than Hardy himself. I think Hardy is getting to the point where he's getting too old now to do it, but it's still within reason. So for me, Tom Hardy could do Horus.
I do like it. I think
it.
the only thing that I don't like about Hardy is I don't think he could do the voice necessarily, because he doesn't have like a super boomy deep voice.
Yeah, this is why I want you to watch. You'd have to see that Star Trek that he's in.
Okay.
He's actually really good with his voice.
Yeah. But he'd be a really good pick for going from the two extremes of Horus, I think.
Agreed. Now, my bonus pick, obviously Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando.
Yes,
Obviously, he's, a young Marlon Brando could have done Horus amazingly. You'd have to make sure he really enunciated everything, because he just throws away his lines.
Not by the end of Apocalypse Now,
yeah, exactly.
Brando, yeah.
Much like, I mean, Hardy is very Brando-esque. So, for me,
And I think when you said Hardy, I think the thing is, it's almost a poison chalice, the Horus Cup, because you immediately go to your Daniel Day-Lewis's because it's a really tough role. Yeah. But I do actually agree, as I think Hardy has got the chops for it. Yes. He could also do the paranoia bit.
Yes, he can.
Later on. Yeah. Really well.
Yeah.
The only...
and he can do the menace.
Yeah. He can do the menace. He can really do the menace.
Because it's very important. Like, don't forget, Horus is the best of them.
Yeah.
Ultimately, there is no denying, because we all know what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only one person that can take out Horus, and that's the Emperor himself.
Yep.
So, all bets are off.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
And I feel like if Hardy turns on you, you feel like he's going to rip your head off.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Right.
It's Hardy.
I mean, I like it. I like it a lot, especially because when I was going Daniel Day-Lewis, and maybe this is another episode we could do, or we could do a couple of quick bonus picks, but Hardy would be my Abaddon.
Yeah.
He'd be my Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Which effectively is mini Horus.
Yes.
Because he can do the gruff, straight soldier, but also something else boiling under the surface there. Yeah. So that when I was thinking of Daniel Day-Lewis, I was like, who is he speaking to in that room? Yeah. And you'd need all of that core, all of the Lunar Wolves. You'd need some serious talent in there. I like it. I like Hardy as Horus.
Because one of the other picks that I had as like a bonus pick, which I didn't say because I wanted to go Peter Mentor, but I thought Day-Lewis could do a Magnus the Red brilliantly as well.
That's very cool.
Because that role doesn't really rely on, it doesn't matter that he's older, because you're going to be having a degree of effects anyway. But there we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like it.
Packed up.
Those are the Primarchs.
We've cast the Primarchs.
We have cast the Primarchs.
Go and make it, someone. Come on.
Yeah, come on now, make this film. Hopefully you cast it soon. Otherwise, a lot of our older members of the cast might have retired by then. But yeah, that was a ton of fun. That was a ton of fun. I also think as well, just to round it out, obviously if you're casting on the Primarchs, the question of Big E comes into it, but I don't think you can cast the Emperor. I don't think that's something you can cast. I think that would have to be done in a very clever way with maybe an off-screen presentation. Do you know what I mean? That would have to be some trickery, I think, to do it. You can't have him turn up.
The interesting thing with the Emperor is that he is also quite one-dimensional. Yeah. So you don't need
Cavill looks like the Emperor.
Yeah.
He does look like the Emperor.
I don't think you need some method actor or anything really, someone very specific to play the Emperor. No. Maybe that's for another episode.
Lee Pace could do the Emperor.
He could do the episode.
If he had someone else as Fulgrim.
Yeah. I think
not Fulgrim, sorry, Sanguinius.
Yeah. If also, as well, let us know if you want us to do a bonus episode, because also there's people we're missing out. Yeah. What about Malkador? Vulcan?
Yeah. We've done Vulcan. Loken?
Not Vulcan, Loken! Loken, yeah. There's Erebus.
Yeah.
Erebus. There's so much.
Sigismund, your boy Sigismund.
Andy Serkis is Erebus.
Oh, man.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh. Khan!
What
There's
a rotter.
so many good potential castings in this, and let us know if you want to do a first captains or something. But we've had a lot of fun doing this.
It's been fun.
Thank you for joining us in both parts. As we said in the first part, do let us know if you think we're barking up completely the wrong tree, if we're mad, if we should never be allowed anywhere near a cinema again, if we don't have any eyeballs, all of those things, please do let us know. And also let us know your choices in the comments. We love to hear from you guys, and we can have a big discussion down there. Until next time, I've been James Jordan, aka The Bard. I've been joined by Mr. Lawrence Baker, Spider, and of course, Careful Beard, Joe Pointing. We have been Tabletop Tactics, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.